Hello, sales rock stars. Not knowing this can literally kill your deals, and I've seen it happen a bunch of times. What am I talking about? Depreciation expense. I can hear it already. Carl, I don't give a flying squirrel about depreciation expense, but you should. And in this video, I'll explain what the potential pitfalls are, as well as steps you can take to avoid them. So let's start with the basics. Depreciation is an accounting process of spreading out the cost of a purchased asset over its useful life. An asset is anything a company owns that has value and that provides future benefits, such as technology equipment. Instead of showing the whole cost at once, depreciation breaks the expense down and shows it over multiple years. So why does this matter to you? Because this is how your CFOs and CEOs look at assets financially, both for things that they currently own, as well as things that they're considering purchasing. So how can this kill a deal? Here's an example. So your customer, an IT manager, and they have a hardware asset that they bought from one of your loser competitors about 3 years ago for $500,000. And they also originally bought $300,000 worth of hardware support with that. So they now hate this dumpster fire of a solution, and they're not planning on renewing the support, and they want to buy a replacement solution from you. So you and the IT manager work closely together, and you come up with this phenomenal solution and deal. Awesome job. You've committed the deal to your boss, the IT manager has submitted the deal for approval internally, everything is going great. That is, until it gets to the CFO, and bam! There's still 2 years worth of depreciation expense, nearly $200,000 that you and the IT manager didn't know about and didn't account for. Oh, the CFO wants to know how that $200,000 is going to be handled, and you and the IT manager are both just looking for your emotional support animals. If you had known about this, you may have been able to factor that $200,000 into the deal somehow, or realize that the obstacle was just too big to overcome at this point and not wasted a lot of time on the deal. But now it's too late. You've wasted a bunch of time and your great deal is now on an extended siesta. So the first step in preventing this type of ugly scenario is understanding how to calculate depreciation expense. Step one is identifying the asset's depreciation start date and the original purchase price. The depreciation start date is typically when the customer put the asset into use, which often can be weeks or even months after they purchase the asset. So make sure to keep that in mind. In a lot of cases, especially if you're trying to replace a competitor solution and you're not a psychic, you might not know that original purchase price exactly. And in this situation, use your best judgment and make an estimate on what the original purchase price may have been. And don't freak out on this. If your numbers are way off, your customer will likely help you correct your numbers, especially after they see what you're doing. Step two is identifying the depreciation type and term for the asset. 5 years is a really common depreciation term for IT equipment, but it can vary a lot. And the best way to get this important nugget is to ask your customer. Most sales reps don't even think about depreciation expense, let alone talk about it with their customers. So doing so can make you look a lot smarter and you can show off your dizzying intellect. It's important to mention that there are different types of depreciation. There's straight line, declining balance, double declining balance, and others. Straight line is really common, but it's important to talk to your customer to confirm and validate what type of depreciation they use. Moving on, step three is calculating the depreciation expense. For straight line depreciation, this is just taking the total price and dividing it by the depreciation term. In our example, the asset price was $500,000 and the depreciation term was 5 years. So $500,000 divided by 5 years is $100,000 per year. So easy, even a fifth grader could do this. Step four is determining the remaining depreciation expense based on the time elapsed. So if 3 years have passed and 2 are remaining, it's $100,000 a year. That means there's $200,000 of remaining depreciation expense. And that's it. Now that example was pretty easy because we used nice round numbers, the dates lined up really well, and we also didn't account for any potential upgrades that may have been done to that asset after the original purchase. To do what we just did, but just exponentially faster and eliminating the risk of human error, use Scandere's K2. Hold my beer and watch this. Step one, we enter the asset's depreciation start date. Step two, we enter the depreciation term in either months or years. Step three, we enter the original purchase price. That's it. And alakablam, K2 automatically calculates the remaining depreciation expense by year. And while that was faster than a speeding ticket, in the real world, you're probably not going to have these even round numbers. You're going to have to update your assumptions on prices or depreciation start date, and you'll likely have to factor in the depreciation expense for any upgrades that were made to that asset. And that would take a lot of time if you were doing that in a spreadsheet, and there's the potential for screwing a lot of things up. Fortunately, those are all things that you can do in K2 literally in a matter of seconds. Okay, just when you thought we were done here, there's something else. Your customer's CFO and CEO need to see the depreciation expense modeled out for whatever assets you're proposing or selling. And quotes, sorry, they don't do that. The good news is that K2 can make this a breeze too. Check this out. In this example, we've proposed our new solution at a sell price of $900,000, which using our 5-year term is $180,000 of new depreciation expense per year. We factored the existing $309,927 of competitive depreciation expense into our deal, and we'll give the customer a check back for that full amount right away. And over 3 years, the customer's costs are 26% lower. Have you ever seen a CFO weep tears of joy? Well, you will if you show them this. And yes, this is a made-up scenario, and there are things that I left out of the financial models, but they actually make the story even better. That said, building deals very similar to this is completely realistic, but you need good financial modeling skills to do it. And K2 can help you accelerate your journey to becoming a financial modeling ninja, even if you've never built financial models before. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please like it, share it, repost it, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Until next time, always remember to give 100% unless you're donating blood. See you next time.